I'm Tia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you the books I plan on reading during the month of May. So May is actually my birthday month. It's always been sort of a big month in my family because it's my birthday as well as my dad's birthday and Mother's Day. So there was always a lot of celebrations going on when I was growing up. And now that I have children, one of my daughter's birthdays is also in May. So we usually try to do a lot of fun things in May. I mean, I don't know how much fun things we're actually going to be able to do outside of the house this year, but I am planning on doing some fun reading things this year. I want to reread some of my favorite books as like a birthday treat to myself, so I'm going to show you those, and I'm also planning on doing some buddy reads as well as participating in a readathon that I think is going to be fun for my birthday month as well. Mostly, I just don't want to stress about anything in May. I don't know if that's going to be possible because we are actually trying to sell our house right now, and we are planning on moving at the end of June, the beginning of July across country. So things have been pretty stressful, but I'm hoping maybe in May at some point I'll be able to take a deep breath and relax. Let me show you the things I'm going to be rereading first. So my favorite book of all time is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've probably told you this a million times, so you're probably sick of me hearing about it, but I love rereading this book. I do it every year or two, and I think it has been a couple of years since I've reread it. So it's going to be the perfect time to do it this year for my birthday. This is going to be one of my main priorities, and I really would like to re-watch the film as well. And yeah, I'm sure you probably already know what Pride and Prejudice is about, but it follows the Bennet sisters as their mother is trying to marry them off before their father dies and their estate gets passed on to their cousin instead of them, and they're left destitute. And in particular, it follows Elizabeth Bennet, who is the second to oldest child, and her relationship with Mr. Darcy, who is sort of a snobbish, prideful character who has come to visit town. So yeah, it's fantastic. I love it, and I can't wait to reread it. And then I also would really like to reread a Jane Austen inspired book that is one of my favorites. I've reread this, I don't know, countless times, possibly more than I've actually reread Pride and Prejudice, because this book is it's pretty short and it's really easy to fly through. This is Austenland by Shannon Hale, and this follows a young woman who is like obsessed with Pride and Prejudice, and she decides to go on this vacation to a place named Austenland, where you basically go for a couple of weeks. You dress up like an Austen character, like a Regency character, and sort of act like you're a person from the Regency era, and everyone is guaranteed happily ever after at the end. They get to go to a ball, and there's dancing and supposedly love and all that stuff. Anyway, it's so much fun. I absolutely love this book. There's also a movie that stars Kerry Russell that I love as well, and I plan on rewatching that in May too. And then I do have a few buddy reads that I plan on doing in May. The first one is going to be a group read that I'm doing with Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. We are doing a round of 5-star predictions together as part of their Book List Thursday, and I will link those videos down below if you haven't seen them already. But we have all chosen to read The Lost Apothecary as one of our 5-star predictions, and this is by Sarah Pinner. And there were a couple of people, I believe, that asked Sarah if we could do a group read of it, so we decided to open it up to all of our subscribers and ask you if you would like to participate in reading this book with us. We are going to be doing this in May on Instagram through like a Instagram group chat, and that is going to start on May 17th. And so if you want to join us in reading this book, it's a historical fiction book that follows some women who are trying to get poisons to maybe kill off or poison the men in their lives that are sort of overbearing, they're not good people. The men in their lives are not good people. And so they're trying to go to this apothecary that deals in poisons in, I think, Victorian London, and deal with these men. It sounds like it's going to be great. I've honestly heard great things about this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do as a group read. So if you would like to join us, be sure to leave me your Instagram handle down in the comments below and let me know that you want to join the group read, and I will be sure to add you to that discussion group whenever we get it up and going. I'm also planning on reading The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl by Theodore Goss with my friend Trish over on Instagram. So this is the third book in the Athena Club series, and these are all historical fiction books that have a little bit of a paranormal twist, I guess you would say. There are some creatures in here that are not strictly human, so I guess you would call it paranormal. And they also feature like characters from classic literature, like characters from Dracula, characters from Sherlock Holmes, characters from Frankenstein, and they're all mixed up in here together, and every installment in the series has a different mystery for the girls to solve, and it's a lot of fun. The main character is Mary Jekyll, the daughter of Dr. Jekyll, and she's a lot of fun to follow, and we've been learning a little bit about her throughout each installment of the series, and I'm really excited to be reading the final book with my friend Trish, and I can't wait to find out what happens with the girls in this installment of the trilogy. I'm planning on reading A Fall of Marigolds by Susan Meisner with Amanda from the Curly Reader, and this is another historical fiction book that is told in dual timelines. It sounds like it takes place in 1911 as well as 2011 and follows two separate women that I think are somehow tied together through a scarf is what it sounds like. Both of the women have lost the loves of their life in tragic accidents, and somehow there's a scarf with like a name embroidered on it that is going to tie their two stories together, and that's really all I know about it. I read another book of Susan Meisner's, As Bright as Heaven, and I really loved it, and I've heard good things about this one too, so I'm hoping to enjoy this in May as well. Then that brings us to the readathon I am planning on participating in during the month of May, and that is the Chick-Lit-A-Thon. This is a readathon that is hosted by three different ladies, Sophie at All Things Equilateral, Jessie from Jessie's Shelf, and then my friend Trish, who is on Instagram. I will be sure to leave links to all of their information down below, especially the announcement video for this readathon. So this readathon, I'm not sure how many years it has been going on, but this is going to be my second time to participate in it. I did it in 2019, and then in 2020 in May, I think the readathon happened. I'm not 100% sure, but I was not like, I took a little bit of a break in May in 2020, you know, and I didn't participate in any readathons in May 2020. Maybe not in April or June or July either. I was kind of out of it last like spring and summer. Anyway, and so I'm going to participate again this year. I'm super excited to be getting back to it because this readathon is a lot of fun. So basically this one is all about reading chick-lit, and Sophie has looked up the definition, and I did too as well when I first participated in this as well, just because, you know, chick-lit is a word that everyone throws around, but you know, I never knew the exact definition. But basically what it says is that chick-lit is any book that features a female protagonist, so follows, you know, follows a woman or a girl's journey. And so that could be anything. It could be historical fiction, it could be a YA book, it could be a romance, it could be a mystery. As long as the main character is a woman and we are following her story, then it counts as chick-lit. I generally have always thought of chick-lit as being like more of a rom-com, kind of a goofy story with a romantic element. You know, of course, Sophie Kinsella is someone that I've always thought of who writes chick-lit, but obviously, I guess that's not completely true. The definition does not say it's only rom-coms. So everything I'm including on my TBR does have a female protagonist, but they're not all rom-coms. So anyway, I think that's enough explanation, right? So they do have a group read, and I am hoping to read this with them. They are reading Bridget Jones's Diary by Helen Fielding. So this is actually a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and I have read this book several times. I really enjoy this book. It's kind of a comfort read. It's obviously not like, you know, the best literature in the world or anything that's gonna win accolades, especially now. I know there's some people who definitely think it hasn't aged well, but it holds like a nostalgic feeling for me, and I always enjoy it when I read it. Yeah, so I'm hoping to read this with them. And then let's jump into the challenges. So I do have a couple of options for each challenge. So I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to end up choosing for each challenge. Maybe you could let me know down in the comments if there's one that you think I should pick over the other one. That would be really helpful. So here we go. The first challenge is to read a book with yellow on the cover. And for that one, I have 4 different options. So you can help me decide which one you think I should choose. So the first one is Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein. This looks kind of yellow gold, but I'm counting this as yellow. This one I think is a contemporary romance that follows a gymnast and her coach, or her former coach. I'm not 100% sure on all of the details, but I've had this from Book of the Month for a while, and so I would really like to get to this one if possible. I also just got Dial A for Aunties this month, and it is by Jessie Q. Sutanto, and this one actually just came out, and it is a mystery. This one sounds actually like it's a lot of fun. It's following this young woman named Madeline Chan who accidentally kills her blind date, and then her mother and her aunties get involved in getting rid of the body. Wow, I didn't realize it was that sinister. I thought that this was more of like a funny mystery with like a cozy vibe, but I don't know, that sounds a little bit sinister. I guess we'll find out. I'm really intrigued by this one. And Undercover Bromance is also an option for yellow on the cover. This is by Lysa K. Adams, and this is the second in the Bromance Book Club series. I read the first one like over a year ago, and I don't know why I haven't gotten to the second one, but this one is like a romantic suspense book, I believe. And yeah, that's really all I know about it. And then my fourth option for yellow on the cover is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. This is the second in this series, and I don't remember the name of the series, but the first was Well Met, and these take place at a Renaissance fair. At least the first one did. I'm not sure if this one is actually going to take place in the Renaissance fair or just follow, this girl who works at the Renaissance fair. But she's like the friend of the girl from the first book, Well Met. And so this is definitely an option as well. Then the second challenge is to read a book that has a wedding as part of the plot line. And so I have 3 options for this as well. Okay, the first option is Unmarriageable by Sonia Kamal, and this one is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. The tagline is Pride and Prejudice in Pakistan. So this one is following a young woman whose name is Elise Bennett, and she is sworn never to marry until she encounters one Mr. Darcy at a wedding. So yeah, so I'm assuming that the beginning of this takes place at a wedding, and there you go, that's a wedding component. Plus, I'm reading Pride and Prejudice in May, so this would be cool to read a retelling of it during the same month. Then I picked up Every Vow You Break this month by Peter Swanson. So this one has a wedding component as well. This is a thriller, and it follows a woman named Abigail who I think had like a one-night stand right before her wedding, and then the guy that she had a one-night stand with follows her on her honeymoon. I'm not sure what all happens after that, but it sounds super creepy and it features a wedding. And the third option is The Little Wedding Island, and this is by Jamie Admons. This is actually the book pick for Bitter Single Ladies Read Romance, which is hosted by Angie at Literary Labors and Rainy at Rainy Day Reads, and I will link that down below as well. This one, I think, I'm not 100% sure exactly what all they said this was about. I think it follows a wedding planner. I could be wrong. And there's like this island that is supposed to be like good luck if you get married on there, and this girl is not actually engaged, but she starts to plan her wedding on this island anyway, and I don't know, maybe there's like a fake wedding trope or something. Oh gosh, I'm terrible, huh? Anyway, this is definitely an option because I would like to read this along with the girls this month if I can get to it as well. The third challenge is to read a book set at college or university. I have 2 options for this. The first one is, I believe the title is called Rush. I'm going to put a picture up here. It's by Candy Steiner, and I know it's the first in the Palm South University series, and I'm intrigued by this book. It was recommended to me by Trish. But I'm also a little bit scared because I haven't had a lot of luck with like new adult romance. But this one is supposed to be like really soap opera-y and full of drama. So maybe it will just be like a fun gobble up candy type read. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if you've read this one and what you think about it. And then my other option for this is My Oxford Year by Julia Whalen. This one is following a young woman who has just gotten a scholarship to Oxford, the Rhodes Scholarship. And she looks like she's going to maybe have an affair or a relationship with her English literature professor. Yeah. I don't really know a ton about this other than that. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little bit spoiled by the ending. So, and that was just recently. I was looking up like what people review, like, you know, what the reviews were on Goodreads, and someone had like a spoiler right in the beginning of their review, and so I got a little bit spoiled for this one, but it does still sound intriguing. I don't know. It's a toss-up between this one and the Palm South one, so definitely let me know your opinions on these two. The fourth challenge is to read a book that takes place in your dream destination. And honestly, my dream destination is probably Scotland or Ireland, but I couldn't find like a rom-com-ish book that took place in one of those that I have on my shelves. So if you have an option for that, you know, off the top of your head that you could tell me in the comments, maybe I'll choose that instead. But for right now, I'm planning on going with Winter in Paradise by Elaine Hildebrand. So this is a book that I really want to read. It's one of my 5-star predictions, and it takes place on an island in the Caribbean, which I do definitely think would be a great place to vacation. And you know, I wouldn't say no to going there, but it's not exactly my dream destination, but it would still be a fun place to vacation. So I'm gonna go with this for right now, unless I can find a different one that would take place in Scotland. And then the final challenge is to read a historical fiction book that follows a female protagonist. And for this, I'm going to use one of the 3 buddy reads that I already told you about. And those were The Lost Apothecary, A Fall of Marigolds, or The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl. So all of those follow women and their historical fiction. So any of those 3 will count for that. Okay, and that is everything that I have on my TBR right now. I do have a couple of things that I'll probably end up reading with my kids, but those are not 100% set in stone, so I didn't want to bring those out. Anyway, let me know what you are participating in this month. Are you doing Chick-Lit-A-Thon? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to these like fun, fluffy reads in May. It's really what I need with everything so stressful going on in my life right now, especially since it's my birthday month. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Chick-Lit-A-Thon and rereading some of my favorite books. So let me know what you are reading during the month of May, and let me know if you want to participate in the group read of The Lost Apothecary and anything else bookish that you want to chat about down in the comments. I would love to hear what all you have to say. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.